This woman right here, of course, needs no introduction, 6-time Grammy Award winner, laughing offset just now because we were showing this Instagram video, which you just said we just posted. We can't get enough of you, Lady Gaga. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you very much. I can't get enough of you guys.
Are you having a blast? I mean, you told us you got in a few days ago. It's been a whirlwind, a huge crowd here watching and waiting on every whim you do. What has it been like for you this week?
You know, it's been a mixture of being extremely focused and working very hard and having a very regimented schedule and having a good time. We were having fun this morning getting ready for the press conference. I was trying to loosen up.
Yeah. Last year, I had an opportunity to sit down with you, and it was a privilege, one of the shining moments of my early media career.
Thank you.
And I'm a Leo. I'm a lion. I feel like that everywhere I go. I feel like I can conquer the jungle in every room that I walk in. And I did that, and I felt like that. And then you walked in the room, and I sat down with you. And without saying a word, without making a sound, I heard the roar of a lioness, and all the energy was yours. Where do you get that quiet confidence from? And how does that help you do what you do?
You know, I think that confident when you're playing a game or playing a show,
Right.
I think that that's the best type of confident. Because if you're too loud, your opponent can hear you. You know, so I like to keep a really strong focus, whether I'm doing an interview or I am getting ready to do a dress rehearsal for the show. I just like to be sure of what it is that I have to accomplish and get it done. That's very sweet that you think that about me.
I think a lot of people think that about you.
All morning long, he told us that story, how
That's very nice.
he was kind of intimidated by you, just saying.
I'm sorry.
No, in a good way.
Don't apologize.
You know, but you mentioned, like, players, you have to have this quiet confidence, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I wanted to ask you, you see these players, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, they have to have this ultimate focus. Do you feel a parallel between these athletes that'll be taking the field on Sunday, these guys that have this work ethic that had to overcome so much adversity to get to where they're at? Do you feel a sense of parallels between the two?
I do in a way. I mean, I'm not a football player. And, you know, Tom Brady and Matt Ryan are, you know, they do what they do. But I will say that in terms of training and the sort of conditioning that you put your body through before the performance, this is something that we take very seriously. We don't just create the show, then there's a process after that's for strengthening my vocal muscle, for strengthening my body, then putting it all together. And it's quite like a marathon. We don't run all 26 miles. You know, I would say I run about 20, and then I run about 35 for the show.
Right.
And it's all about keeping that energy inside of you in a kind of tight capsule so that you don't expend it too much before the big day, but you're still working on it little by little.
Now, I want to take some song titles off the album, Joanne, and I want to apply them to the storylines that we're all talking about within this game, and I want you to answer the questions accordingly.
Okay.
Now, the Patriots, they've been there, they've done that, they've accomplished so much. So I feel like it's the perfect illusion that it's just another day for them on Super Bowl 51. So the question I have for you, how do you not approach every day as just another day? Because I see you and you get lost in the moment. How do you do that?
Well, you know, for the Patriots, going back to what you originally asked me, you know, this potentially could be the game that puts Tom Brady over the top, right? This would make him the quarterback to win the most Super Bowls ever. And so that puts a lot of pressure on his shoulders. But I also think that that's very good. I think that a champion that has that fire in them to go the extra distance so that they know that this is possibly the defining moment of their career, he's going to be hungry on this one. So it is a perfect illusion, but he's going to take a bite at it.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Falcons. On the other sideline, you know, they say it's a young team. They don't have the experience. There's not that many reasons why they have a chance of winning this game. But off of your album, I'll say that there's a million reasons.
Except that they had the most offensive touchdowns this year.
There's a million reasons. So you're saying that they had the most offensive touchdowns. They have the strength offensively. What's the reason for you in waking up and doing what you do?
For me, it's the fans. And I can imagine that it might not be a different answer for these players. Probably their fans and their family. You know, I want to put on a show that these kids never forget. And also I want to put on a great show for that kid somewhere that wants it just as bad as me. You know, that kid that wants that spot at the halftime show. I want to do it for them and make sure that I give it my all my focus, all my athleticism, all my chops and talent as a musician. That's how you make every day different. Is when I wake up and I go, I definitely don't know everything. I definitely have more to learn. I definitely could be better, faster, stronger.
And that's what makes you so great, is you believe you still need to learn so much, which is amazing. I do want to talk a little bit about your performance, because I know off camera you mentioned people want to know, or are we going to see you come out of a roof, or it's going to be considered potentially maybe the most technically difficult performance halftime show. And I know you don't want to give anything away. So what can fans expect from Super Bowl 51's halftime show?
Well, I'll tell you, it's the most physically demanding and technically demanding show I've ever done.
Sure.
Which is very fun for me. So thank you, NFL. I mean, it's really made it amazing. I love a challenge. And everything else, it spans my career. The set list goes through many of the biggest moments that I've ever had. I tried to think not just about my fans, but also about the football fans watching, how young the ages range to, as well to how much older the audience can be. So songs that I feel bridge everybody as much as possible. I prefer bridges to walls. Yeah. I'm all about bringing people together. So I just want the show to be fun for everyone.
So a few days ago, opening night for the Super Bowl, Tom Brady was asked a question by a little boy. He said, "Who's your hero?" Tom hesitated, almost teared up, and he said, "It's my dad." So with so many people that look at you as their hero, who's your hero or heroes?
I think I'm going to have to go in Tom's direction with this one. My father is one of my heroes, and so is my mother, but I'm going to have to hand it to my two grandmas.
That's awesome.
For this year, because both my grandmothers are Italian, and both of them had very, very difficult upbringings. One of my grandmothers was in foster care when she was growing up and was taking care of her family. They came over from Italy, and my grandfather was a shoemaker. I come from a long line of women that had to work really hard to keep what they have. So they're my heroes.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's really inspirational. Speaking of which, actually, we do have a social question, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because someone asked, what advice has your mom given you?
My mother gave me some really great advice. She pulled me aside, actually, a few weeks ago, and she goes, I'm really proud of you. And I said, thanks, Mom. Why would you say that today? And she said, because I think that we see you do things all the time and you make them look so easy, but they're really not that easy. And when I thought about, because my mom knows every little thing I have to do in this performance, and she was a dancer. So she said, when I think about what you have to do, I'm really aware of how hard it is, and I'm really proud of you for going for it. And she told me just to stick with my skill set and my commitment to what I do, and to not waver from it, and to stay confident in what I truly am. And I think that she's, right, because, the riskiest thing you can bet on is yourself.
Lady Gaga, wow.
Spit
and both
knowledge.
Mom and Dad here today. We're very, very pleased and
I'm going to start calling you
grateful.
Coach Gaga.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you know your stuff, girl.
Lady Gaga, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck.
Thank you.
The Super Bowl 51 halftime show. It's going to be one of the best yet. We really appreciate you stopping by the set.
Thank you. Wonderful interview. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck on Sunday.